This is another sign of the times, an analysis, and a commentary. Trappist-1. 7 Earth-sized planets that could potentially harbor life have been identified orbiting a tiny star not too far away, offering the first realistic opportunity to search for signs of alien life outside the solar system. The planets orbit a dwarf star named Trappist-1, about 40 light years, or 235 trillion miles from Earth. That is quite close in cosmic terms, and the orientation of the orbits of the 7 planets allows them to be studied in great detail. One or more of the exoplanets in this new system could be at the right temperature to be awash in oceans of water, astronomers said, based on the distance of the planets from the dwarf star. This is the first time so many planets of this kind are found around the same star, said an astronomer and leader of an international team that has been observing Trappist-1. Cool red dwarfs are the most common type of star, so astronomers are likely to find more planetary systems like that around Trappist-1 in the coming years. You can just imagine how many worlds are out there that have a shot to becoming a habitable ecosystem, said the Associate Administrator of NASA's Science Mission Directorate. Telescopes on the ground now and the Hubble Space Telescope in orbit will be able to discern some of the molecules in the planetary atmospheres. A James Webb Space Telescope, scheduled to launch next year, will peer at the infrared wavelengths of light, ideal for studying Trappist-1. Comparisons among the different conditions of the 7 will also be revealing. Astronomers always knew other stars must have planets, but until a couple of decades ago, they had not been able to spot them. Now they have confirmed more than 3,400 according to the Open Exoplanet Catalog. An exoplanet is a planet around a star other than the Sun. While the Trappist planets are about the size of Earth, give or take 25% in diameter, the star is very different from our Sun. The star is what they call an ultra-cool dwarf, with only 1/12 the mass of the Sun and a surface temperature of 4,150 degrees Fahrenheit, much cooler than the 10,000 degrees radiating from the Sun. If our Sun were the size of a basketball, Trappist-1 would be a golf ball. Until the last few years, scientists looking for life elsewhere in the galaxy have focused on finding Earth-sized planets around Sun-like stars. But it is hard to pick out the light of a planet from the glare of a bright star. Small, dim dwarfs are much easier to study. Last year, astronomers announced the discovery of an Earth-sized planet around Proxima Centauri, the closest star, at 4.24 light years away. That discovery was made using a different technique that does not allow for study of the atmosphere. Trappist-1 periodically dimmed noticeably, indicating that a planet might be passing in front of the star, blocking part of the light. From the shape of the dips, the astronomers calculate the size of the planet. Trappist-1's light dipped so many times that they concluded in research reported last year that there were at least 3 planets around the star. Telescopes from around the world then also observed Trappist-1, as did the Spitzer Space Telescope of NASA. Trappist-1 was observed nearly around the clock for 20 days, capturing 34 transits. Together with the ground observations, it let the scientists calculate not 3 planets, but 7. The planets are too small and too close to the star to be photographed directly. All 7 are very close to the dwarf star, circling more quickly than the planets in our solar system. The innermost completes an orbit in just 1.5 days. The farthest one completes an orbit in about 20 days. That makes a planetary system more like the moons of Jupiter than a larger planetary system like our solar system. They form a very compact system, the planets being pulled close to each other and very close to the star. In addition, the orbital periods of the inner six suggest that the planets formed farther away from the star and then were all gradually pulled inward. Because the planets are so close to a cool star, their surfaces could be at the right temperatures to have water flow, considered one of the essential ingredients for life. And water is life. The fourth, fifth, and sixth planets orbit in the star's habitable zone, where the planets could have oceans. So far, that is just speculation. But by measuring which wavelengths of light are blocked by the planet, scientists will be able to figure out what gases float in the atmospheres of the 7 planets. So far, they have confirmed for the 2 innermost planets that they are not enveloped in hydrogen. That means they are rocky like Earth, ruling out the possibility that they were mini Neptune gas planets that are prevalent around many other stars. Because the planets are so close to Trappist-1, they have quite likely become gravitationally locked to the star, always with one side of the planets facing the star, much as it is always the same side of Earth's moon facing Earth. That would mean one side would be warmer, but an atmosphere would distribute heat, and the scientists said that would not be an insurmountable obstacle for life. Or so they say. For a person standing on one of the planets, it would be a dim environment with perhaps only about 1/200th the light that we see from the sun on Earth. That would still be brighter than the moon at night. The star would be far bigger. On Trappist-1F, the 5th planet, the star would be 3 times as wide as the sun seen from Earth. NASA released a poster illustrating what the sky of the 4th planet might look like. If observations reveal oxygen in a planet's atmosphere, that could point to photosynthesis of plants, although not conclusively. But oxygen, together with methane, ozone, and carbon dioxide, particularly in certain proportions, would tell us that there is life with 99% confidence, a scientist said. Astronomers expect that a few decades of technological advances are needed before similar observations can be made of Earth-like planets around larger, brighter, sun-like stars. The SETI Institute in Mountain View, California, is using the Allen Telescope Array, a group of 42 radio dishes in California, to scrutinize 20,000 red dwarfs. This result is kind of a justification for that project, said an astronomer at the Institute. Genesis, chapter 1, verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. 4. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. 5. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. 6. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." 7. And God made the expanse, and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. 8. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning, the second day. Yes, it's humankind's destiny to go to the stars and colonize the galaxy and the universe. And all these are more signs of the times.